Good morning, Solaris 7. Calgary Battletech brings you our midsummer-ish break with your hosts, Brett, Lee, special commentary from Geoff, and a new special guest, Geoff.
How are we going to tell the difference between the two of these guys?
Do not. That's the whole point.
Oh. Well, we're halfway point between our wrap-up awards and the draft for next season, so we got a little bit of time to figure the two of you out. But, that could be difficult. We are a little bit slow.
That's an understatement at times for us, isn't it? Well, hopefully everyone's been enjoying the nice weather, except for the smoke, being careful not to breathe too much of it, especially live in Alberta right now, where it's not the greatest of places to be for fire season right now.
It sure has been a busy off-season. First, we had the Mercenaries Kickstarter. Then we had the Calgary Battletech Champion Tournament as part of the Alberta Classic this month. And we're trying to find time to put together a tournament in June. But if we can't make that happen, there's still Gamescom on June 25th, or at least that entire weekend.
We've also been hard at work revamping the League package for the two new factions, Warden Clans and Crusader Clans. This will also include the rules for elementals, if you want to run them for those two factions, and some little tweaks here and there for further stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting watching people deal with the clans. It's been a long time since we've had them in League, and it's going to be fun to watch. So, yeah, special announcement that's been going on for this past couple of months is, as you can hear, we now have Geoff Painter with us as a special commentator, special guest, and each year, we've been trying to rotate our special commentator. First year was John, our one of our longtime players. This past season has been Geoff, who we're going to keep going with on Rambletech and anything else he really wants to jump in to help us with. So,
or we want him to be in.
Yeah. Well, he does a pretty good darn job. I almost replaced you with him.
All right, less work for me.
So this upcoming season, we asked Geoff Painter to come join us because he is very knowledgeable about Battletech, very insightful in the way the game is played. As well, he has tips and hints on things like painting and organizing and stuff that I simply don't have. I know you're very good at it, Brett, and I know, Geoff, you've got some skills. I have none. So having a third person on the group that actually knows something about assembling mechs and painting them is going to be very helpful.
Well, here's the secret. The current level of mechs come pre-assembled. You don't have to assemble any of them anymore.
But you do have to paint them, and that's gonna be a problem.
For you, maybe.
Yeah, you keep winning painted lances. That's not fair.
I painted my first lance for the season 1, right? So
more than likely you would have won it if you'd been in the draw ahead of time.
That's not my fault.
I blame Army Painter Studios for that.
Yes.
Yeah, I do believe it is Geoff that got my my painted lance for the raffle and for the upcoming season.
Right on.
I'm Geoff, everybody. It's nice to talk to you all. I've been playing Battletech for, I don't know, late mid-90s? So I guess that's 30 years now. God, damn, that's a long time. And it's been a big part of my life. It was actually the first game that got me into tabletop wargaming. And I've done a lot of other games since then, but I always end up somehow coming back, full circle back to Battletech. I'm also, as has been mentioned, I'm a pretty avid painter. Run Army Painter Studios, which was my commission service that I've been running for the last, gotta be 10 years plus now. And I'm very excited to be joining everybody and playing Battletech in the upcoming season. Had a great time at the Mercenaries Kickstarter, and actually managed to win that coveted prize, that getting canonized prize. Look forward to seeing how that all plays out with Catalyst when we get around to it. Other than that, that's basically me in a nutshell. So if you ever have any questions, I will gladly help you out as much as I can. I'm one of a few people around that can definitely point you in the right direction for different painting techniques. So feel free to ask.
So, continuing on, thank you, Geoff, for introducing yourself. Looking forward to having you on the show. Well, we're 3 meetings down. We've had 3 group meetings trying to get things worked on, and we probably got at least 3 more to go before we have the Season 3 packet at a point where we'd want to release it to the players for viewing. We normally release it in the month before draft day, because this gives us the time to have people give feedback if anything stands out, if they see any glaring problems.
All right, and to give us a little bit of an idea of what we do for building new factions, Geoff, why don't you explain that for us?
Sure. So when it came to building the new factions, especially for clans and that, as you know, if we went straight with just the invasion mechs, there wouldn't be a ton of mechs on the list. So obviously we've expanded it to include all what we consider Crusader and Warden clans. So for example, we've done the Crusader clans, which are going to consist of Blood Spirit, Fire Mandrill, Hell's Horses, Ice Hellion, Jade Falcon, Smoke Jaguars, Star Adder, and Wolf. So what we did to choose this was we went off the roughly 30-65 timeline, which is why you'll see certain factions or certain clans with certain factions. Such as Wolf being Crusader, when normally at the start of the invasion they would have been Warden. And why you'll see stuff like Ghost Bear with the Warden faction. The same with Nova Cat, even though they transitioned a little later over. So your Warden factions are going to be Cloud Cobra, Coyote, Diamond Shark, Ghost Bear, Goliath Scorpion, Nova Cat, Snow Raven, Steel Viper, and Wolf in Exile.
Now, do the clans in each individual section actually mean anything for being able to choose, I want to play this, I'm only allowed to go with that faction?
No, not necessarily. You could play a Crusader clan and say you are a holdout star from Ghost Bear, or you are a Nova Cat holdout that's Crusader. So really what we just did is we just took these factions to pull off the master unit list. Just to give us, the odd special mech that each clan has, some of the totem mechs, and just to make the lists a little more interesting when it comes down to it.
Okay, so it's not just, clan A or clan B, there's actually going to be some separation between the two then. That's cool.
Yes, yeah. So leading into that, which will help separate certain mechs, is the Warden tech is going to be ATMs and ER pulse lasers, which we'll explain a little bit later in the episode here. And the Crusaders tech is going to be heavy lasers and streak LRMs. Now, not all variants carry these things, so it's going to be a new skill that we're discussing for every faction in the league that is going to have the option to upgrade one of their mechs with faction tech before the season even starts. And it's gonna, the way we're looking right now, it's gonna take up one of your engineering options if you want to do it. So it's kind of almost like not necessarily a free engineering to start with, but it's a way to get your faction tech on a mech that doesn't normally carry your faction tech.
So now we had faction tech last year. We're just going to rework that into a more feasible way so everybody can start the season off showcasing their stable's technology, is what you're saying?
Yes and no. Faction tech is still going to stay a skill, which means you could technically upgrade 2 mechs with faction tech, but the second one you would have to pay the normal points for.
I hadn't thought about it that way. I was thinking that if you don't want to take it right now, you can still buy it later, but that you're still only limited to it once. No duplicate skills.
So you just have to pay for the first go round.
Yeah, so what we just do then is we just reword how we're giving it the first time around then.
Yes.
We don't even call it a skill. We just
it's
call
just
it
an allowance.
Yeah, it's just an allowance. It's just what comes with the faction, I guess, right? That way,
yeah.
Because I like that idea, right? That allows you to get 2 mechs with your faction tech if you really wanted to.
Well, you can do that with engineering or the other stuff.
But I'm not 100% against that idea either, right? The big thing is, as long as we have limited rules on what they're allowed to do, if all 4 mechs end up with some form of engineering skill, that's fine. But the The mechs have to have. If it already has the faction tech, you can't take. If all 4 mechs have the faction tech, you can't use the faction thing to rebuild a mech before League starts.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So if you pick 4 mechs with light engines, you can't then use your freebie faction or not faction tech, but your freebie engineering skill before season starts to optimize one of them. You're stuck. You have to use the skill points that you spend later.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is just to make sure that people actually have, like what happened with Heather, with the fact that how few mechs used X pulses.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because that's what we gave it to her as a faction perk. Basically, we're just offering it to everybody.
Yep. So just to clarify, this what we're talking about now isn't set in stone, but it is looking like we're leaning towards it. And this will replace certain faction abilities like Free Resohog getting to upgrade a single mech that has pulses to X pulses. This will just encompass everybody's faction tech for all of the stables, is what we're looking at currently.
And this is just a little bit of a peek at what we go through for hours on ends in our meeting to try and tweak the packet to be more efficient and more what we want it to be for the players and for what we're looking for the community.
And balancing. A large portion of it is making sure that everything's balanced.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we want every faction for people to look at it and say, yeah, that faction's playable. Yeah, that faction's playable. Oh, if I get stuck with it, nope, there shouldn't be anybody saying, if I get stuck with this faction.
Exactly. And jumping back into the lists for the clans factions, don't expect to see a lot of 2Cs. There might be the odd one, but most likely it'll probably just be the Innersphere C variants, not the 2Cs. But keep in mind, we might see the odd named clan variant, depending on their faction, if they were Crusader or Warden. And also look forward to seeing some of the totem mechs. Now, some of the totem mechs may not be in the time frame we're using for League, but if they are using technology to bring them in and give something unique to those factions, we will probably look at bringing them in.
You know who you are listening to this. This is for you, explaining why that mech from 3150 is in the list, even though it's from 3150, and we normally are 3067 for our season.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to Lee now, who's going to talk briefly about the tech for the Warden factions.
So the tech that the Wardens are getting this season is going to be the ATM, which stands for the Advanced Tactical Missile, and the ER Pulse Lasers. The ATM, the Advanced Tactical Missile, is basically just a merging of the LRM and the SRM for the clans. It is a larger per missile system that comes in an ATM 3, 6, 9, and 12. So less missiles, but they have special types. You have your standards that go range of 5, 10, 15, doing 2 damage per missile. You have your ER ones that have a range of 9, 18, 27, which are about the longest weapons that you can get in Battletech, other than when you get to the LB2X and the Ultra 2, and then artillery. Then you have the really exciting one, which is the HE, High Explosive, that has a range of 3, 6, 9, but does 3 damage per missile. The system also has a built-in Artemis 4, which I believe can be upgraded to an Artemis 5, but we won't be having Artemis 5s in League this season, so it won't matter even if you can't update them. And all in all, it's a very good all-range system, but you have to carry a lot of ammo, because each one requires a full-ton bin to be in there. One of the biggest weaknesses about them, however, is unlike SRMs, they aren't broken into 2-point missile slots for the HE, which would be 3-point missile slots, or 2-point missiles for the standards. They're added into groups of 5 and done that way like a standard LRM. So moving on to the ER large pulse laser, medium pulse laser, and small pulse laser. These weapons are just basically slightly hotter, longer range clan pulse lasers. So example, the extended range large pulse laser weighs 6 tons, does 10 damage, does 13 heat, and has a short range of 7, medium range of 15, and a long range out to 23. So once again, really gets that range out there and that reach, and you get the -2 bonus to hit, which really is a big advantage on the clans.
All right, so jumping over to the Crusader tech. The Crusader tech is going to get heavy lasers and Streak LRMs. Streak LRMs are pretty obvious, slightly. They are the exact same as a Streak SRM. So you have a single roll to hit, and if you have an LRM 15, you hit with all 15 missiles if it connects. They then follow the rest of the normal rules when it comes to LRMs, so they hit in clusters of 5. And that's, they you don't need to worry about pairing them with Artemis or anything, because if you hit, you hit.
2 weaknesses for streaks, though. Streak LRMs. They weigh the same amount as Inner Sphere, and they cannot be used for indirect fire.
Actually, they can be. It's in the rules.
Nope.
So, moving over to the second tech they get, which is heavy lasers. Clan heavy lasers hit extremely hard. For example, a clan large heavy laser does 16 points of damage, but comes at a cost of 18 heat, and their range isn't the greatest. They are a 5, 10, 15 for their ranges, and they also suffer from a -1 to hit penalty. But if you do hit somebody, they hit hard. The heavy mediums are really where it's at. You're doing 7 heat for 10 damage, and they shoot the same as a Inner Sphere medium laser, so they are 369. The heavy medium is a phenomenal weapon for the amount of heat and damage it does, even though you are suffering the -1 penalty to hit.
I think you're drastically underestimating the heavy small. I've seen a couple of those in action at Brett's tournament, and I forget, was it the Fenris that has, not Fenris, Mistlinks, that has like 9 heavy small lasers, moves like the wind?
You're thinking the cheesiest of cheese mechs, the Fire Moth H, that goes 10-15 with mask, 8 heavy small lasers, and a targeting computer.
It was disgusting. Those things doing 5 points of damage, or was it 5 or 7?
6.
Hitting like a medium pulse laser, and just so many shots. It was disgusting.
See, the thing is, you don't need to worry about them because we don't have a Fire Moth for that. So
No, but there is lots of fast mechs out there that could put them on it.
there is. It's true. There are some clan mechs that are quite fast in the lower tonnage range.
This is going to fall under that same category of we don't build mechs to just load in as many Inner Sphere medium lasers as possible, because that's just a cheesy mech. It's not actually owning to the feel and spirit of the mech.
That's a good takeaway from last season too. One of the major things that I learned was if you have a mech design in your head, that might not be what it comes back to you as, and don't tell them exactly how you want it. Make sure you put your list in with what you'd like to see, and then you'll. Brett's pretty good at getting back to you with here's how he sees it. And generally speaking, he's got a pretty good eye for it to give you the right thing. A couple other takeaways I had from last season. Best laid plans, throw them out the window. I came into it with this is how I'm going to build my lance. I had everything planned out week to week, and I think it was by week 3, I had already changed my plan. And you kind of got to take it day by day and go on the fly. It's because you never know what you'll find a weakness in your lance you didn't know was there. And it could be something as simple as a skill to fix it, or you might need to look at other options. Another one, read your skills. There's so many good ones out there. So many great ones to take that are just overlooked. Pretty excited to see what ends up in the pack with clans being added and what new skills and what skills will get reworded. Pretty sure we're going to see a rework on determination. That was pretty brutal last year. Yeah, it should be interesting to see how everything pans out, especially with that possibility of faction tech being, well, not faction tech, well, getting to put faction tech on one of your mechs right off the bat before it even starts. So that'll be pretty cool. And I'm assuming by doing that, we're going to see every faction with its own faction tech, which will be pretty nice. I'm pretty sure at the end of last season we were talking about swapping out some arena maps too, right?
Yeah, we reviewed some of the maps. We took out, I think, only one. We altered 2 of the maps, and we have expanded to a total of 30 arenas for next season. We have a new plaque on the wall to show off all of our award winners for many seasons to come, and we still have a few more other exciting surprises coming. I would love nothing more than for us to see a 32-player cap here and have 4 full divisions for playoffs next season. That may be wishful thinking already, but we'll see if we can get over 24 and go from there.
I don't know about you guys, but we are seeing a summer go by so fast. It only felt like a couple of weeks ago League ended. And because the summer is going by so fast, it's going to be probably a big surprise to everybody that draft day is going to be July 9th. It's only a couple of months away. And any new players will have an event to determine their draft choices. And any returning player can jump in, play in one of these events with the option, if they win, to be able to choose any stable they like, even if it's been chosen. They're taken out of the regular draft order, and when everything's all said and done, they get to choose a faction, regardless if it's been maxed out or not.
All right, so coming up, let's give you folks a little preview of some of the early changes that are confirmed for next season. We will be removing the 50% pulse rule for next season, as well as floating criticals are going back to the rules as written. So, you know what? That floater to the head is now possible.
Well, that sounds like some really nice changes right there in itself. Quite a few people happy about that 50% pulse rule, as well as those floating criticals. I'm sure you guys are still reviewing lots of the skills. And I know the mech lists are probably pretty challenging, especially trying to come up with whole 2 new ones for the clans. I'm not really on the inside track on all this stuff for hearing about it yet, but I've already speculated once that I think that Determination is going to see a rework. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple other reworks, there's a couple other skills that probably could use some tweaking. I know personally I'd love to see a skill for people trying to do a DFA that maybe they could actually complete it if they get hammered in the air. I mean, it is Solaris 7 and all, the home of things of stupid death-defying moves like death from aboves and charges. Yeah, it's pretty exciting watching it all come together.
Well, you know, there's a skill for that.
As I will say, there is a skill for that.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to read the effing packet in there, but you know, it's not in the packet yet, and we haven't put it out yet. So,
but I don't believe there is actually a skill that allows you to stay on target while getting hammered in the air for a DFA.
Well, let's see. There's piloting. There is melee expert. There is lost tech. Those are 3 skills off the top of my head that all improve your abilities to make piloting checks.
Yes, but is it not a situation where if you have to make a piloting check on a DFA, the DFA automatically fails?
Nope. You just have to make the PSR before you can even attempt the DFA.
If you fail it, then it auto fails.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
But there could be a skill coming up that will improve something about DFAs. They are supposed to be a last-ditch desperation skill, so it's not something we've really focused on, but it's something we could look at. Oh, this summer. What are we doing this summer? As a family, we're doing a lot. But when it comes to League, I know a bunch of us are looking at probably trying to get some merchandising done for the beginning of season. Some options of people able to buy some stuff with our logo on it. Stuff like that. That's the main thing. And just trying to get everything together. We have so many big plans for changes.
Yeah, but do you have anything exciting for like your actual life?
I don't have a life. Battletech is all.
I'm sure your family loves to hear that.
No, it's really, we're just trying to make it through the summer. We're just so happy to be able to go out again now that the pandemic is kind of behind us. we're making some trips, going out to Saskatchewan to go visit with grandma, that kind of stuff. But really, it's just living life and just being happy to be able to go outside. Well, other than the fact right now you need a gas mask to deal with the smoke.
Yeah, the last couple of days haven't been too bad. Today especially hasn't been that bad.
Yesterday was rough. We tried to go downtown to do it was a scavenger hunt kind of thing, a puzzle thing that was based off the Smurfs, and you couldn't see downtown well enough. We decided, we're not taking the kids into that for 6-7 hours. We ended up going to one of the play places and let the kids do climbing gyms and stuff like that. So what are you doing this summer, Geoff?
Probably nothing. Probably nothing. Maybe go to Texas in September or October.
Oh, now that sounds exciting.
That's also the fall, not the summer.
Exactly. Yeah, just do the usual road trip with the old man type deal.
Nice.
Yeah, should be fun.
I really don't have anything going on other than paperwork and progress, and if something comes up, something comes up.
So your life revolves around Battletech as well, see?
Well, that
not
and a new
just me.
position at work and just trying to get stuff in order. And I spend a week of my vacation every year on League, so really I have limited availability to go do other things.
Yeah. Summer. The last summer was more exciting than it will be this summer. This summer I don't have much on the go myself. Probably a whole lot of painting, a whole lot of Battletech. Play testing the packet when it comes out, because that's always a fun thing to do. Basically, well, I think that's about it, in all honesty, because there's not going to be a whole heck of a lot going on around here. With inflation the way it is, it's just not safe to really spend that extra money, right?
So then, Geoff, have you been organizing your own games? Have you been helping other people organize their games during off season?
Oh, I've definitely been organizing my own games. I've definitely had a few.
We're talking about playing with others, not just yourself.
I've definitely played with some other people. I actually got to participate in playing a pretty cool game today. That was pretty good.
Brett, remember he's married. Playing with himself is all he gets to do.
That's a very true statement. But yeah, I've definitely got to play a fair bit of BattleTech in the last couple of months. In all honesty, ever since the league ended, done a fair bit of BattleTech playing. Admittedly, a lot of that was trying to figure out for clans. When doing a little bit of play testing for clans to see if you can actually build a 4-mech list with clans because they're so BB intensive. The answer to that is yes. Yes, you can. Other than that, there'll be some more games coming up here soon, for sure. Especially, like I said, once that packet drops a month in advance, I know for sure I pretty much have a standing appointment with Aaron because he likes to play test. So I'm sure about at least half his podcast probably has an appointment with Aaron to play him as well.
At some point in time. Yeah, I know Aaron loves to play.
And it's in the month before draft day, not necessarily a month before draft day.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, everybody. I have some big news. Over the past couple of weeks, we had a final big push on getting our draw done. Thanks, everyone. We have hit that goal. We are now sitting at 251 subscribers as of the time of this recording. Hopefully, we can climb up a little bit higher. But we do have the draw ready, and we'll get started here after somebody gives me a drum roll.
New guy gets volunteered.
Woot! Nice. We have a winner. It is Forbesy.
Wait, that Jason guy over in BC?
Yep.
Fix.
Well, at least the shipping shouldn't be too bad.
Fix.
So we'll make him drive out here.
Yep, we'll tell him to come pick it up.
Well, yeah, congratulations, Forbesy. Make sure you contact us to let us know how you want this shipped out, just on the off chance you happen to be coming in the area and want to save a little bit of money for the league. It'd be great if you can come out. If not, get us your information and we will get it shipped out to you.
Yeah, use this as an excuse to tell the wife that you need to come visit.
I'm pretty sure I already have the letter from him stating that if he wins, it just goes to me.
Well, it won't take long to prove that one out.
Because you haven't won enough other stuff over the last couple of seasons.
It's not like I'm purposely trying to win it. Buy like one ticket, and then I win it.
I guess it's that time. We're halfway to actually seeing what's going to be coming for us in the summer here for next Battletech League. So it's time to start getting hyped. Start your theorizing and wish listing and praying, and then see what comes of it. Remember, Ghost Bear's the best clan faction. It's not Jade Falcon, no matter what Brett and everybody else tells you. It's Ghost
Bear. Geoff, it's referred to as lister baiting when the factions come
lister
up.
baiting? Oh, okay. I'll remember
lister
that
baiting.
next time.
So I have to say, I'm absolutely astounded at how quickly we got to 250 subscribers, guys. That was quick. Really good. We went from 200 to 240 in a couple of weeks. So thank you, everybody who listens to this, everybody who's subscribed. It's amazing. We love having you guys join us. I know our battle babes are doing really well as well. It's just, we really appreciate everything. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's great to see that we're up to 250 subs. You know, what's the next milestone, boys? 1,000, 1,500, 5,000, something like that.
0.2 million. No, I think it'll be around 500 at the soonest. We might go. We'll see how things go. You know, their subscription drives is really what we're doing. We're trying to make sure that people are spreading the word, and we're giving them something for doing it, or giving the potential of getting something for doing it. So we haven't really discussed what the next benchmark was. We're thinking 500. We'll see where it goes from there.
Either way, 250 is pretty nice, right?
It's so much more than what I expected.
Right, when we were like, okay, season 1, we got 18 league members. So maybe we'll get like 22, 24 subscribers, and we hit 100. And then season 2, we had 22 league members, and now we're up to 250 subscribers. So, you know, season 3, if we can get up to 30, 32 league members, yeah, we should hit 500 subscribers.
Yeah, we seem to get quite a few with extra league members. And we like giving stuff away, so the more people join, the more we give away.
Yep. It's pretty good. Pretty good deal, I think.
And for clarity's sake, none of the giveaway stuff that we do for this comes from anything to do with the league other than the generosity of some of the league members or ourselves. Mostly the league members. All the league fees and everything go towards league stuff.
Yeah, the entire CBL broadcasting stuff is purely out of our own pocket, and the donations of amazing people like Geoff Painter, a couple people who've asked not to be mentioned, stuff like that. It's all to do with that. Like, I've had somebody donate a microphone to us. It's just amazing, and we really appreciate it.
All of this is possible because of all of you.
That's right, folks. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. It'll get you big internet bucks. And eventually, you know, we get enough people, it'll get you possibly a mech lance painted.
The more you share and help us get more subscribers, the more chance you have to get more stuff.
Swag's always good.
All right. Have a good one, folks.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. It is halfway between end of last season and beginning of next season, so it's not exactly structured the way you would normally see for an Uncivil Discourse, but thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll catch you next time.